Have you ever wondered, who is the true ruler of the sun in God of War? Is it Hyperion, the titan of light? Or Helios, the fiery charioteer who rides across the sky each day? Or perhaps Apollo, the god of music and prophecy, often called the god of the sun? These three beings share a deep and complicated connection. They each have their own history, story, tragedy, and role, yet all are linked by one thing: the power of the sun. Behind their stories lies an important piece of mythology, the great transition of power from the mighty titans to the Olympian gods. In this video, we'll explore the evolution of Hyperion, Helios, and Apollo, and uncover their rivalry to become the true ruler of the sun. Let's start with the oldest one, the titan Hyperion. Hyperion was one of the 12 original titans, born from Uranos and Gaia. His name means "he who watches from above," a symbol of the light that shines down from the heavens upon the earth. Hyperion wasn't just the god of the sun, he was the god of heavenly light itself. He married Thea, and from their union came 3 children: Helios the sun, Selene the moon, and Eos the dawn. In other words, Hyperion is the root of all celestial light, the father of every glow in the sky. Hyperion was considered one of the wisest titans because of his counsel and strategies. When Uranos imprisoned the Hecaton Charis deep within Tartarus, Gaia sought a way to free her children. At that time, the underworld and the realm of the living were 2 completely separate dimensions. As long as they remained divided, the Hecaton Charis could never be saved. Hyperion proposed a daring idea. Someone had to channel a powerful energy strong enough to destroy the barrier that separated life from death, uniting the realm of the dead with the world of gods and mortals. Impressed by his wisdom, Gaia granted Hyperion the primordial fire, cosmic energy born from chaos itself, the same force that birthed every flame in existence at the dawn of creation. And from this power, the sun's energy was born. But like every titan, Hyperion's reign ended in tragedy. In God of War 2, during the flashback of the Titanomachy, the great war between Titans and the Olympians, the younger gods led by Zeus rose up in rebellion. Hyperion was defeated and cast into Tartarus, an eternal prison beneath the earth. From that moment, the primordial fire left him, and the first light of creation vanished from the world. But that light never truly died, because it was inherited by his son, Helios, who betrayed the Titans and chose to side with the gods of Olympus. In God of War, Chains of Olympus, Hyperion is shown near death, imprisoned for thousands of years deep in Tartarus. His body is chained, covered in wounds, enduring endless torment from the gods as punishment for his defeat. After the Titans were defeated, Helios took his father's place as the new god of the sun. But Helios wasn't just any god, he was radiant, noble, and divine. He was often described as a handsome deity, crowned with a blazing halo of sunlight. Every single day, Helios would ride his fiery chariot pulled by celestial horses, traveling across the sky from east to west, bringing light and warmth to mankind. That eternal journey was how the ancients explained the cycle of day and night in Greek mythology. Though born from the bloodline of Titans, Helios was never portrayed as a massive giant like his parents. Over time, he became more closely associated with Apollo, another god of light, yet the two remained distinct beings. In God of War Chains of Olympus, Helios is kidnapped by the mighty titan Atlas, acting under the command of Persephone, the queen of the underworld. Persephone felt betrayed by the gods, forced into marriage with Hades, and sought revenge by destroying both Olympus and the mortal world. With Helios gone, Morpheus, the god of dreams, who had learned of Persephone's plan, seized the opportunity to take control over the mortal realm, plunging the gods into a deep slumber. Helios was dragged into the underworld, where Atlas and Persephone plotted to destroy the pillar of the world, the very structure holding the realms together. During the climactic battle, Helios was held in Atlas's massive hand, his body glowing like a living sun, forming an orb of burning light. The fight was brutal. Kratos had to rescue Helios while also saving the entire world. After Kratos chained Atlas beneath the earth and killed Persephone, he returned Helios to the sky, restoring daylight once again. But as Kratos fell from Helios' sun chariot, he nearly plummeted off a cliff. Barely conscious, Kratos was soon approached by Helios and Athena. Helios praised Kratos for his heroism and thanked him for saving the world before reclaiming his power. Later, in God of War 2, Helios appears once again among the Olympian gods as they discuss Kratos' rebellion. Even though Kratos once saved him, Helios now stood firmly with Olympus, having sworn loyalty to Zeus. To maintain his divine status as the sun god, Helios had no choice but to see Kratos as an enemy, a threat to his very existence. By the time of God of War 3, Helios is portrayed as a young but arrogant and overconfident god. When Kratos and the Titans march upon Olympus, Helios stands on the front lines, leading the charge against them. He focuses his divine wrath on the Titan Perses, unleashing beams of solar fire so intense that they could scorch the flesh of the Titans themselves. The cinematic scenes between Helios and Perses are breathtaking, showing the full destructive brilliance of the sun god. Helios burns like a star, his light blazing across the battlefield. However, as time went on, Helios' power began to fade. In later Greek civilization, people no longer saw Helios as the main sun god. Instead, they turned their worship toward Apollo. And this is where one of mythology's greatest confusions began. In the earliest myths, Apollo had absolutely nothing to do with the sun. He was the god of music, art, prophecy, and healing. But after the 5th century BC, Greek beliefs began to change. People started associating Apollo with light, not as the driver of the fiery sun chariot, but as the embodiment of wisdom, truth, and enlightenment. Over time, Apollo became known as the new sun god, while Helios was seen as a more ancient, cosmic symbol representing the physical sun itself, not the divine light of knowledge. This transformation reflects how Greek culture evolved, shifting from a mythic, cosmic worldview to one that was more philosophical and spiritual. Despite his importance in mythology, Apollo has never appeared directly in the God of War series. In God of War Ascension, he doesn't appear in person, but his legacy is honored through various artifacts and statues. When Kratos arrives on the Isle of Delos, he encounters a colossal statue of Apollo built by Archimedes to pay tribute to the god. The statue is massive, beautiful, and filled with intricate puzzles that Kratos must solve. Though the monument is worn and broken by time, Kratos uses the amulet of Ouroboros to restore it to its former glory, a moment that perfectly symbolizes the restoration of Apollo's lost light. Then, in God of War 3, Apollo's famous weapon finally makes an appearance, the Bow of Apollo, wielded by Pirithous, a former hero imprisoned in the underworld by Hades. Kratos ultimately claims the weapon for himself, but once again, Apollo never shows up in person. In the end, Apollo remains one of the few Olympian gods who completely escaped Kratos' wrath. After learning about all three of them, one question remains: who is truly the strongest ruler of the sun? Hyperion was the first source of light. His power was cosmic and ancient, not just control over the sun, but over the very essence of light itself. Yet his strength has long been sealed away in Tartarus. Helios, on the other hand, commands both day and night. He can scorch the world with his radiant fire. In God of War 3, his blinding light is shown to be the true source of the sun's power. But unlike his father, Helios is bound by the cycle of nature, each day repeating the same journey across the sky. And then there's Apollo, who represents the spiritual side of the sun. His light doesn't burn, it illuminates. It's the brilliance of knowledge, art, and prophecy. He governs inspiration, creativity, and divine truth. So, in the simplest way to describe them, Hyperion is the light of creation, Helios is the light of life, and Apollo is the light of wisdom. But in the end, the golden era of Hyperion, Helios, and Apollo came to a tragic close, each meeting their fate through death and destruction on the battlefield. In God of War 3, Hyperion appears as one of the mighty titans scaling Mount Olympus during the assault. However, the Olympian gods prove far too powerful. With his mighty hippocampi, Poseidon drags Hyperion down with incredible force, slamming the titan back into the depths below, killing him almost instantly. As for Helios, after being crushed by the titan Perses, he becomes severely weakened, barely able to stand before Kratos. In desperation, Helios begs for his life, reminding Kratos of the debt humanity owes him, because Kratos once saved him from Atlas during the events of Chains of Olympus. Helios even promises to reward Kratos if he spares his life once more. But Kratos demands the location of the flame of Olympus, and when Helios refuses to speak, he makes one final attempt to survive, unleashing the full power of the sun in a blinding burst of light. Yet Kratos resists, shielding his eyes with his arm, slowly overpowering the god of the sun. Then, in one of the most brutal moments in God of War history, Kratos smashes Helios' head, breaking it open, and finally rips it clean off. With the death of the sun god, the skies grow dark. The sun disappears behind thick clouds, bringing storms, chaos, and eternal twilight over the lands of Greece. As for Apollo, his fate remains uncertain. It is believed that he survived the fall of Olympus, hiding somewhere, along with the few remaining gods who escaped Kratos' wrath. Many believe that one day, Apollo will return to rebuild the ruins of ancient Greece and restore light to a world left in darkness. So, that was the evolution and rivalry between the gods and titans who ruled over the sun. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to leave a like, because in the next video, we'll uncover even more epic tales of the titans and gods that shaped the fate of the world.